All right, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary friends, welcome back to the stream. We had some technical difficulties. End of that last round, San Diego, led by Ditto Web on Zarya, landed a 5-man Graviton Surge in order to shut down, in order to keep Nashville off the point and win the round. So we are going into control. We are going into Tower, Lijiang Tower, or San Diego in the lead. As I say that though, Dogemeisser opens up with a beautiful pick onto Jitex. Breakdown is just. It is just Piper left on the Juno to try and keep everyone else alive. As San Diego showing off a dive look, reminiscent a la Crazy Raccoon. Veritas gets Sugru off the map with a beautiful boop, and Luna follows up for Maximus. This early cap going in favor of San Diego.
Well, listen, partner. They're running this beautiful dive right now. You got the Tracer and the Winston really following up with each other. You got that Lucio for that extra engage. I mean, I love the way that San Diego is playing this right now. The Soldier's off-angling for that extra poke. You gotta love it right now, baby.
You gotta.
And of course,
you gotta love it indeed.
You see the Diva off-angling.
You're coming through, you're rotating through White Room, early speedering out from Piper as she's trying to shuffle the rest of her team all the way through. As they take White Room, boom, Ditto Web jumping in, zapping everyone down, will eventually escape as Dogemeister trying his best to try and find something through. Saucepan sends a rail into Luna's skull, sending them back to spawn. Ditto does trade back from Piper, and Doge finds Gyrotex. That is both supports down from the side of Nashville. They gotta win quickly or else leave. And it looks like they are leaving.
I don't think they're winning, and that's just unfortunate. The Nano and the Primal.
Yeah, I mean, Ditto did pop the Primal. Sure, they do turn around and Angry Monkey juggles Saucepan back to spawn, but a big waste of the Nano from Eli Vader. Or when you were playing that Winston, you don't want to really Nano in a Primal. There's not much you can do. You want to save it for when your Monkey is trying to build ult, as opposed to already having the Primal Rage and send them on through. As I say that though, Saucepan and Maximus coming up to DPS ult of their own as do both DPS on San Diego. Veritas does hold this beat, and Pulse Bomb out from Luna does not manage to find anything as 90% and counting coming through.
Here comes Rally!
The rally through, but Piper falling really low. Softkick.
They have to start shuffling through here now. Big beat to sustain.
Yeah, big beat to stay on through, and Maximus turns around, picks off Luna. That's the Tracer. Dogemeister popping the attack visor, trying to get something done, but Eli Vader for 2 gets soft, gets Maximus. Ditto Web will pick off Giant.
Orbit out, but the Diva's demacked. Bomb out.
Has to use the Diva Bomb in order to remake. Is she able to get back from that? Diva is able to.
Huge anti.
Big anti makes Piper fall, and it is just Subaru left on the Diva. Can they get anything?
Subaru!
And it will be San Diego taking Lijiang Tower 2-0.
That, you don't want to definitely open up on that note. 100-0 on Lijiang. You got to make it more competitive. If I'm Nashville, I don't know if I want to play into this dive right now.
Sugru play of the game on this Zarya. Huge sustain, just keeping the Brig alive, and critical rally in order to make sure sustain comes on through, and Sugru lives to tell the tale, causing the point flip for Nashville.
Well, here's the thing too, partner. I don't know what they were trying to go for grouping up in that White Room. Like, all grouping together with the Juno speed where they can easily be exploited by angles. It's just not very good for Nashville.
What Nashville wants, the dive comp comes out from San Diego. And the response from Nashville is to, again, pick up the Diva. But the problem is, you're watching Piper and Jitex. They're trying their best. This Juno break comp, we have seen it be the stable meta support line for a while, ever since Juno came out and stabilized. But that comp is very good with Rush. It is very good on end the tank, use the speed ring, everyone run on through, brawl out, really get close together. That's what they want to do. The problem is, they just fell flat. They fell flat a lot of the time.
That's the huge issue. And, swapping to that Diva, oh boy, we're going to the Saucepan special. The Saravasa. But swapping to that Diva, to finish my thought, you would want to take more angles. You have the ability to kind of move in and out. You have fluidity, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
So just standing there menacingly, like Patrick Star, it's not doing much.
It reads you want to try You want to try and dive. The problem is you spent too long trying to set up that San Diego were able to turn around, use both sources of speed, the Juno and the Lucio, to come in and pick apart one stray target that got out of position, and there you go.
And here comes the Reaper specialist himself, the Zeke Weekykins, to go after the big bad Winton Overwatch, baby.
Dogmeister hitting the bench, Zeke coming into the DPS lineup. No other changes from the side of San Diego and Nashville. No changes from them as we're going into Suravasa. Now go to part. You're Nashville.
Yes. Okay.
What do you ban? As I said,
they already took care of that for us. Tracer is the ban for Nashville. And, truth be told, I was either thinking between the Tracer or you try to target that support line. Take away their speed in the Lucio, for example. Because Veritas was just putting in so much work.
Veritas putting in the work indeed. Drytex, they're trying their best with the Brig, and there's only so much you can do if you're not in and brawling, getting the Inspire proc. You need to be hitting those whip shots. You need to be procking that Inspire, or else that support line kind of just stands there and does nothing, and just opens itself up to getting picked off by Luna's Tracer. And we're
banning the big Samoan.
Malga ban coming through from San Diego as a response. Bonaparte, this feels like a double down into the brawl.
Honestly, as somebody who's been on the other side of a saucepan Malga comp, let me tell you, this is God's work right here. This is the angel speaking to San Diego, dog. I hate that I had to learn Malga in case I had to fight them in playoffs, only for them to not make it. Do you know how stressful that is?
I will tell you right here, right now,
PTSD, man.
I was playing Malga back in Season 8 when he was still...
Of course you were.
Extremely broken, and everything was Malga meta.
You are a sinner in the hands of an angry god, brother. How do you play that? How do you play Dwayne like that, dog?
You play it because that was the scrim meta at the time, and you either adapted or you found the counter comp, and yeah.
I just played Sig back then, man. Sigma male. I was a Sigma male, and it worked out fine for me. You, my friend, you need help. Psychiatric help.
I mean, when you have a gun in each hand and a smile on your face, there's only so much you can do.
Oh God, no.
That being said, though, Suravasa, a flat map, really well suited for those brawl comps to come on through. Ramatra back on the table, so both tanks could come back with the Ramatra. We did see Sugru and Ditto Web use Zarya. We saw an Orisa coming out from Ditto Web as well. We could see some brawl more brawl coming
I would
through.
rather see a brawl matchup than a big Samoan man with nipple rings that sings like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, talking about a gun in his hand and a smile on his face. Thank you, San Diego, for doing the right thing. Thank you.
I mean, the likelihood we see Malga if both teams don't just GA to stay away from it, because let's be real.
Trust me, it is the saucepan special.
Besides Double Shield and Overwatch 1, the Malga meta was always some of the most boring things to spec.
Trust me, I get it. I hate everybody. I get it. Especially you, Mensa. I know you can probably hear this. I see you streaming it in the NYI server. You're hated. Anyway, getting to the matchup itself. Let's see what both tanks are going to roll out on. And we're seeing the Ram Mirror. Ram Ranch is in full session.
Ram Mirror's coming through. Saucepan on his signature venture. A pick that he's really known for and he's pioneered in his DPS career. And honestly, I like what I see out of Nashville. Map 1,
it's a very solid comp.
Yeah, Map 1, it hurts a little bit, but lean into the brawl. Lean into what brought you success. which was that brawl comp. That was where you actually started getting some points coming through. Piper still on the Juno, Drytex over to the Kiriko. This Juno Kiriko backline a lot more mobile, a lot more flighty, not really as much, the Kiriko and the Juno don't really peel too well for each other. As I say that though, Veritas and Eli, Lucio Kiri, as both Rams are coming on through, and Ditto Web falling really low. Sugru first to come on through, start with the punches, but Zeke lands a critical bolt into Sugru, has to force the Suzu out early from Grytex, and first cap going in favor of Nashville. As I said that though, Zeke
but for how long though?
Coming off the bench, here we are. It's a cowboy, it's a Danish bounty hunter, and they're coming around
and they're coming hard. Well, here's the thing too.
She is Danish.
The back line. Listen, I'm not gonna argue for you whether she's Danish, Norwegian. I'm here to call a game. And let me tell you, big dog, this Lucio Kiriko backline is gonna be a lot smoother, I think, than the Juno Kiri for sure. There's just they both function similarly, but not. I think the Lucio has more fluidity. It can peel a little bit more. It's going to make a huge difference as both teams trading DPS.
Both teams trading DPS.
Big Bola.
Bola is out from Zeke, but will force the Suzu out from Grytex. Grytex immediately escaping, but as I say that though, Sugru turning around, picking off Eli Vader. That is the Kiriko Fox down as the only beats for one. Unfortunate.
That's sad.
Yeah, been there before, Veritas. Been there, done that as a Lucio player.
And Zeke Wiki getting delete key as he's not here anymore. That's a huge stagger.
Huge stagger indeed, as Nashville managed to flip the point. It is a very nice percentage on the board from San Diego.
Both teams, yeah. This could get within one fight territory early. Big annihilation.
Popping it early, trying to go through. But Ditto Web with the later annihilation, managed to pick off Sugru, pick off Saucepan. Ditto just running on through to the point, giving everyone a big purple hug, as it will be 90% and counting for Nashville as the point flip goes through. Last fight territory.
Saucepan got boiled like Larry the Lobster right there. He tried to take that one, got into a 3v1. He really experienced the Piper Perry couch meme. As now, both teams, Saucepan going for the touch.
Saucepan going for the touch. Fox is out from both sides.
Going low.
Really low. Keep your eyes on Luna. They have a Deadeye, and they immediately. Luna picks off Maximus. Picks off Eli. Deadeye coming through from Maximus.
Both teams trading.
And it's chaos on point, but Piper still alive. Drops the later orbital ray as she's punching everyone through. It is just Ditto Web left to try and stall the point for as much as possible.
Lucio's back, though. Lucio is going to come back and help him.
Lucio is back, and there we go. Eli Vader coming back through now on the Kiriko. Now there's more sustained. Ditto Web can still have some staying power, but Saucepan has to dig into the ground as he gets stuck with the take aim shot from Freya. As Luna coming through, zoning everyone through, has to force everyone through.
Huge pick on the Piper. Peter Piper picked it back and pick up Peppers.
There we go, and San Diego cleaning up. Zeke and Veritas in the kill feed. Ditto Web turning around. Saucepan does manage to trade for Luna, but that will be all she wrote as San Diego get market.
And that was a huge stabilization over by San Diego to get off the point, let them get more percent, and then go back onto the point when they were fully together and just collapse in on the Nashville team that's still coming back together.
Yeah,
that was wonderful macro play there.
Yeah, great sense of discipline to just make sure for Ditto to stay alive, keep touching, and Luna swinging on through with the later Deadeye does manage to turn around, gets one, gets Piper down, and that is both sorts of the healing, but all the speed down, and from there the rest of Nashville just collapsed as both tanks going through.
Big purple hug.
Popping the annihilation, beat response from Veritas. This time lands on 4, but Maximus turns around, picks off Zeke, and the later annihilation from Ditto Web as the first point cap does go in favor of San Diego, but it's just two Ramatras trying to give each other hugs. But it will be San Diego in the end with the first cap and will win out the team fight.
And honestly, that was just amazing. I've never seen two Ram ranches go at it to see who's the king of the ranch. Beautiful stuff there.
I mean, I talk a little bit between both supports. Sure, we have mirrored theories, but Veritas on the Lucio versus Piper on the Juno. One has constancy, one has one source of speed to go on through. As I say that though, Softband and Sugru trading for Eli and Luna. Ditto does answer back for Grindtex, but Maximus turning around, picking up Veritas as well. Should be Nashville coming into this point and getting the flip on through at 72% in favor of San Diego, as Ditto Web will get staggered at the very tail end of the fight.
I blame the stagger there. It's unfortunate, but if you can get as much point percentage as possible, that's huge in order to get it to one fight territory. It's
not a bad stagger by any means, and yeah, you do want it in one fight territory. 70% is about 70-80% is about safe for a one fight territory. But Luna crit shot onto Maximus, Cowboys traded through, and Softpan popping the Venture ult will unfortunately fall before it can get anything else done with it. Bullets coming on through from Zeke, and Softpan going over to the bounty hunter himself. As both tanks are traded on through, it is chaos on the point, but Nashville holding strong.
Big purple hug!
Rim annihilation coming through. Sugru lost all of their armor, has to stand there and block. Ditto Web later annihilation and critically using it to refresh the armor. This is huge from San Diego to force it on through. But one fight territory.
So expensive of a fight to just expend all of those. We expended both DPS ults. We expended our tank's ult. Necessarily so on the tank, not the DPS. It's just, now you're just stuck with both support ults. And Nashville's not doing much better on that ult department either.
Nashville isn't doing much, but critically, Zuru was the first to pop their annihilation and immediately had their armor burned down. So all they could do, instead of punching it, had to stand there and block with their arms. Ditto Web just gets the pop the Nemesis form, get in for free. As soon as they lost all of their armor, annihilation coming, refresh the armor, and just get to sustain that much longer on the point. As I said that though, Eli Vader popping a Fox down, but Maximus turning around. Veritas falls, does not drop the beat in time, so no Ajaxes on this point. But Ditto Web has to just stand there and block for as much as possible. But Zeke, three to secure the first fight in favor of San Diego.
This is huge stabilization from Ditto Web. That was a masterclass in tank play right there. Just knowing that his team's got him, holding up his block, fighting around the corner to avoid the poke damage. Just beautiful kiting there to make sure that you don't die, so your team can secure the point.
Yeah, Maximus trying their best to zone out with the Deadeye, but only able to pick off one. And the one that you got was Veritas. Sure, you take the beat off the table, but Eli Vader has already done their job. Soon a rush down, and the rest of San Diego can just fight on through with the Fox.
Here we go, Bola out!
And the Bola's coming on through, doesn't manage to find anyone, but both Rams are coming through. Juru falling really low. Suzu out from Gritex, trying their best. Piper needs to fight to get up to this orbital ray in order to try and help stabilize, or else it will be lights out for this Nashville team.
And Gyratex down! And Veritas Ajax!
Oh, not another Not an Ajax.
The soup can special, the Ajax!
Can we get an Ajax counter going?
Lots of Lucios this season to get one, partner. The Ajax soup can special, baby. We see one at least once a game nowadays.
I mean, sure, Zeke, just throw bolas in at the end. It's a fast charging. Especially
I have to say, that bola at the start by Saucepan.
Luna for two immediately.
And that's just it. That's all she wrote.
Yep, that'll be mapped. There we go.
I didn't even see that coming. It's like a fairy. They just came in and just high noon them.
Yeah, I mean, big play from Luna, showing up big on this Cassidy. First it was their Tracer map 1, and now it's their Cass map 2. As we're getting the play of the game from what are we watching our favorite bounty hunter do? Just
whose favorite bounty hunter? Not mine. I hate that woman.
And Zeke for 3, immediately triggering the bounty hunting passive. Sure, throw a bowl out, and Yeah, just get 3 picks off the bat. Here's an extra 25%. Have fun.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, both of these teams or the DPS core has been trying to really take away their resources from the start of the fight. You can see that a lot with Saucepan and Maximus, where they are going to try and target that Eli Vader Kiri to force Suzu out every time before unleashing their ults. The big thing with this fight, though, is that the Suzu, I think, already came out. The speed rings in, cast through, high noon, that was it. And they're already forced to kite, too. It's just rough stuff.
I mean, at that point, all you can do is look at Veritas. Veritas just needs to speed Luna in with the Deadeye, and Luna just, pop the high noon, zone everyone else off of the point. That's a Cassidy walking at you, very menacing, staring you down, reminding you what time it is. 2 off the rip, map's over. It's done. San Diego, 3-0 on Saravasa.
And here is the big problem now. This is what we're having to deal with. You're Nashville. You're at a real disadvantage in terms of your score now. Where do you go? What do you do? How do you take away that advantage from San Diego? How do we get to that game 5?
How do you get to game 5? Well, first of all, if you're Nashville, this is no longer, the series. This is 3 best of 1s that you need to win back to back to back in order to stay alive in the series. And you will get your final map choice now. So Flashpoint off the table, Control off the table. You have Escort, you have Hybrid, you have Push.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm looking at 2 teams. San Diego, they're looking like a well-oiled machine. This Nashville team has the pieces in the making, but they just can't to put it together in time. And
yeah, I think
tough.
It's taken them some time to get those pieces moving, but I don't think it's all hope was lost yet. I mean, the other night we got overconfident and we paid for it. So I think now if you're San Diego, you have to look at it from 2 perspectives, right? The mental aspect, yeah, you're up, but that can always change. And how do you adjust your plan, especially going into this next map in Circuit Royale?
I mean, Circuit Royale, historically from an Overwatch 2 map, this is Widow's playground, this is Sigma's playground. This is where your snipers are going to pop off. And honestly speaking, the most I've seen, this is probably the smartest move you could do if you're Nashville. Go onto a map that lets you basically say, my DPS players, take it away. And Saucepan immediately coming through, taking away the Freya.
I could kiss Saucepan right now for that. 1 kiss on his hot mouth. I'm telling you that. Thank you for banning Freya. And then we're banning Czar in the same breath. Oh no. Why not take away the Sigma is beyond me. It's blasphemy, but screw it. Why not?
I mean, keep in mind with both supports coming through, what we've kind of seen out of these cores is both teams really want to play around more these brawl styles, these brawl centric comps. You're leaving the Juno in, you are leaving the Lucio in, you are leaving the Brig in. These are ways that you can turn around, and the Zarya ban coming through, boot, no Grav Dragons, sure, but Sigma is still on the table. More historic poke comps are still on the table, but these new form brawl comps, both teams like to run with the Ramatra. That's still an option.
It is. The Ramatra especially is very... Next to Sigma, it's the second play tank, I would say, on this one. You have that poke aspect, you have the that brawl aspect.
Who's diving on Circuit Royale?
Hey man. I've seen it done. I've seen some freaks out there.
And
now I might be a freak, but I ain't that freaky.
Not a has.
That's like handcuffs to the bed freaky, and I ain't it.
He's a has freak, not a...
I ain't that kind of freak either.
Oh.
But, I am a freak with a K. And let me tell you, we're running the Sigma male.
We're
running the duo Sigma male.
we've got a Sig mirror. If this is not a Circuit Royale special, then I don't know what is. Your off-tank playground, have at it. No Freya's on the table, so no crossbow. Yeah, no crossbow bolts going, flying at you. But Luna on the Widow. We've seen them already pop off on Tracer. We've seen them the last map. Own it on Cassidy. Sure, Zeke doesn't have the Freya to turn around and come on through. But, one Widow will dictate how you play this fight out and will make you respect those sightlines. As I say that, though, on the defense, Maximus and Saucepan looking more of a brawl type, looking a little more brawly, but their support lines, Eli Vader, Veritas Piper, and Grytex. Ana Zen, very, very greedy, very, very poke heavy.
Well, here's the thing. We're about to find out right now if Zeke has got that dog in him.
Zeke's got that dog in him.
And Sig is low.
Sig is low, has to back up, hacked purple, but still does manage to turn around and survive. As Zeke turning around, gets a collat!
Yeesh. And now they have that high ground.
Yeah, there you go. And if you're Nashville, you have to back up. Zeke for a third. Why not?
They're getting cooked with a capital COOKED.
Ditto, I see you. Stealing the 5K away from your Sojourn. That is greedy.
Listen, Ditto's got that dog in them. That's all I'm saying. I ain't saying
just greed.
Anything else but that. He got that dog.
That's just greed. And Nashville, they have to touch. Someone's got to drop.
They can't touch this. If they touch that, they're getting blown up instantly. I mean, if I'm Nashville, I'm setting up maybe around that corner. Try to force pressure down. Take a moment and stabilize. You don't have to really go in right away.
Luna on the cami skin. It's as I say that though, I'm sorry, I might have cast them a little bit. Max
just a bit.
Boy gets the one. Eli Vader falls to the Zen. Sugru turns around, rocks Veritas into next week, gets Ditto for their troubles as well. Max was cleaning up for the extended team kill. No horn, but doesn't need it. Luna getting off of the Widowmaker, going over to the Cassidy. We are having him.
Well, listen, I've been discounting Suguru a little too much tonight. That man got that dog in him too. The way that both of these teams are able to kind of collapse on each other's mistakes is just generational. As now Saucepan providing the distraction, hacking him around, just doing his thing.
Rock coming out, but Veritas but it's a little too late in order to save Zeke. Zeke falls to the damage from the Sigma as Sugru coming through, gets one as they're going through. Rock out from Ditto Web, and Ditto Web holding on. Doesn't even need to use the Flux. Sugru does trade for Eli Vader. Sauce in the backline manages to hunt down Brytex, turning around, sending some orbs into Ditto's skull, and that will be another hold in favor of Nashville.
Well, hey, that's a good trade. Never mind.
Listen, if you're Veritas, you'll take that.
Yeah. Here's the big issue right now, right? Nashville is set up on this high ground. They're spamming out those angles. Saucepan is getting a lot of value by just living in their backline, especially with this EMP coming up. EMP Flux is a notoriously dangerous combo. I think if we can neutralize the pan.
Yeah. Ditto having the Flux. Rock out from Suguru. Ditto now has free reign of this Flux. Rock out, punishing Suguru, and coming on through. Saucepan popping the EMP in order to make sure that the Flux doesn't go off, but will force out Grytex. As I say that though, Zeke popping the overclock. Ditto Web getting nano from Eli as well, and it'll be all cleanup for the side of San Diego as they push on through, forcing them back. Piper trying their best to get out, but Grandma can only move so fast, and Railgun on the exit.
Both of these Zenyatas expending. Well, that's not even both. I'm seeing stuff. I'm old. The Zenyatta expending that Transcendence. Definitely. I don't know if it was early, but I think both teams are playing this extremely well, though.
They're playing it well. Saucepan using the EMP to shut down the gravitic flux from Ditto Web. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, Sugru did use the rock early, didn't have it in time to cancel the flux, but on top of that, Grytek's popping the Transcendence as well to nullify it. Both 2 ults for the price of 1 flux. If you're Ditto Web, you'll take that. As I said, the Grytek and Sugru answering back, and it is all San Diego on the high ground. Beautiful Suzu in order to make the rock phase Ditto Web, as both teams are,
I have to say, this is a very good map flip from the side of Nashville. Making sure while they're up on that high ground, you can take cart control and maybe start pushing your way up there. I really like that.
Yeah. Box coming down. Nano out onto
the that's
immediately Suguru just having the main tank experience, getting chain CC'd, but it will be Saucepan. Saucepan does find Ditto, but Veritas and Luna up on the side. Saucepan does even it up, and as the trades are coming on through, it is just like Kiriko left. Can she turn around? Can she duel out, or can she escape? She is not. Maximus will flash her and will send her back to spawn.
Well, Veritas is that person. I don't think anybody gets out of there. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just rough.
I mean, if you could trade for the Cassidy, you'll take that at that point. That's a huge stagger for the defense. As I say that though, San Diego all moving onto the high ground. Ditto Web popping the
here comes Flux.
From across the map. Yeah, I
hit him with a little bit of Dwayne.
Yeah, but both teams coming on through. Luna walking menacingly into Suguru into the roof. Oh, Schmutty, why don't you? As Zeke finds the final blow, and guys, Grandma ain't on card.
I ain't gonna hold you. Zeke's looking a little scary this season. A little.
Eli says,
scary.
Getting off my angle. One of y'all can push the card. And
here comes the big hammer, man.
Listen, I'll tell you this right here, right now. Season 6 on Dallas Vanguard, or when I was playing this map, immediately turned it around in a Sigmir against Johan. Wasn't going too well. Coming out on the Reinhardt, if you don't want to take the Sigmir, Reinhardt, very big answer, very easy answer to get in the 6 face and just brawl it out.
Listen, I'll be honest with you, big dog. I mean, Ryan into Sig can either go one or two ways. You can either explode or you don't explode.
As Grytek's finding a snipe across the map onto Zeke, but Shatter.
I thought he had that big slam right there. I felt it in my toes. No sleep, no rock, no CC to stop it.
No CC, but Veritas sending some kunai into Maximus' skull. And
Transcendence out.
Transcendence
out. Big slam. Wait, only one man slam.
That's enough with the Nano and the Discord Orb. Ditto Web will go back to spawn. As
we love our big German friends, baby. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Saucepan. Yeah, just use the white hack.
That's crazy.
The 5K. There's the rifle 5K. See what happens when you don't steal 5K from your team?
Hamster's on. But for how long can the hamster be hamstering?
It's the last minute touch, but last minute touch as both teams are Lucio getting pinned into next week. And a big hold. Zeke, the last one into touch, but that will be all she wrote as Suguru pinning in towards the spawn of San Diego, excuse me. But that will be a hold on third.
Yeah, big hold there. I think Circuit Royale third point. It's just so hard to capture. It's hard to capture the minds and the hearts of many of the UR faithful on this map, but here we are, once again. Just wanted you to see me. Can't lie, can't pretend. I thought that was going to be the one for the San Diego squad, but you don't get to see him because they cried. Here we go.
Never say never, but the win condition is set for Nashville. You need to cap 2 points, and you need to make it halfway through third, kind of around the back corner. As I say that though, we're having... I'm not
for the dive.
I'm
I'm
Confused
not mad. I'm
and
disappointed.
slightly disappointed.
Honestly,
guys, if we have Gibraltar in the pool, okay? If we want to play dive, you go to that map.
so here's the deal, right? Here's the deal. Calm down, irate gamer. It's not 2009 anymore. Here's where we're at, okay? I think the brawl was working best for them. I think when it comes to the brawl, Nashville definitely has it in the bag. The small issue I'm having with this is you're playing dive on a long-range map, but if it works out, you know what? Ignore Zach. He's just a little tipsy tonight.
I promise you I have had nothing to drink, and I will probably drink after this match. I've just had Mountain Dew. I've just had Mountain Dew,
some
gamers.
more. Drink some more. Anyway, Ram Ranch on the cart.
Sleep through, and he's just Ditto Web turning around, punching. Maximus opens up with a snipe onto Eli Vader and Saucepan, cleaning up the Ramatra. And there we go. Discord
they're on Zeke like white on rye, baby.
Yeah, Discord Orb out. Beautiful play from Drytex, and Saucepan coming through, cleaning up. He's getting three, excuse me, and it's just. And
that's crazy.
And we're having a monkey mirror on my Circuit Royale.
What the heck is going on here, dog? We're ay. You know what? Somehow, someway, this is Biscuit's fault. And he's not even here.
Gibraltar exists! You can play dive on Gibraltar! Ah! Okay.
Listen, nothing wrong with a little dive. You'll be aight. You'll be aight. You'll be aight. Oh my gosh.
Again, this Zenyatta, it's a very greedy pick, especially going into the dive. It is going Grytex coming up clutch and showing why this Zen works. Controlling those long sight lines.
Eli Vader getting the trade, and now 5 minutes practically on the clock.
At 5, but this is also the same amount of time that we saw San Diego have on their attack when they were coming through. And Nashville were defending. As both teams, it seems like they're just trying to counter-comp each other. Grytex on the Zen gets to snipe for free, gets the long sight lines to work with, and can punish the dive, or can punish the dive as it's coming in if you are not careful. Bionade for 2 out from Veritas, but no follow-up as Suguru and the rest of Nashville are pushing the cart slowly but steadily. And Nano out onto the monkey and immediately woken up.
Going low.
But Maximus turning around, picking Zeke
Primal out.
Yeah, and
now this is a better use of it.
There you go. Luna turning around, sending a rail into Maximus. So it's an even 4v4, but Ditto into the... Still, there's a Winston in your backline that is trying to come through. But Eli turning around, rally out, shuffling everyone forward, and doesn't matter if Piper lands a Bionade or not, the rest of San Diego will shuffle on through.
I'm not going to lie. Suguru just very much... Oh, wow, he's swapping to the Mauga, of course. So... Suguru overcommitted to that dive, and then getting stuck back there while the rest of your team is getting collapsed. Oh, thank God it's a horse. I never thought I'd hear myself say that.
Thank God it's a horse. I mean...
But regardless, he overcommitted too much to that backline, and his team paid for it.
You had the primal. It's just making sure you get out at the very end. You know, we did A, B, and C. We just didn't finish it off. As I say that though, huge Bionade coming on through. Primal on, and Softman pulling the blade, trying their best. We'll turn around. We'll find Eli.
Die.
Beyblade let it rip. Piper falls. Suguru does trade back, but it is still San Diego holding strong.
I have to say the San Diego dive is very strong, especially for this. Poor Ditto.
The Maximus punishing Ditto for their
If Subaru dies here, I'm suing the car company.
Subaru's managing to live in this as the rest of Nashville are coming up the side, trying to set up Suguru, or excuse me, now Ditto's off the Winton over.
There we go. The biggest horse in history.
Yeah, big terror search, managing to draw them all in. Grytex finds a volley onto Eli Vader, and There you go. That should be the cap for that should be point 2 capping favor of Nashville. Just stick 3 on cart, let your tank hold the space, but that should be about it. Saucepan and Sugru holding aggressive, and there you go. 3 minutes 20 seconds on the clock, and make it to about final in order to make it around 2 corners.
Zach, as a Rhine main, you have to admit you're disappointed right now. This is disappointment immeasurably.
My heart breaks a little bit, but this is also what the meta has been for a while now, so I've kind of had to convert into being on Orisa main. As I say that though, Zeke falling to Maximus. Maximus gets in the process as well.
Nashville's looking for a win here, and they're looking right now.
There you go. As I said, win 3 best of 1s. Sure, Luna turning around, stalling it a little bit, finding Saucepan, but Sugru falling really low, has to get pumped back up.
Super
out to Sugru, and picking the shield perk as the major interesting in this.
I don't hate that.
Tex again with the volley coming on through. Transcendence
is gonna push him off.
Push him off, but also stabilize in the Kitsune Rush as they're trying to brawl. Both teams trying their best out. Sugru coming on in.
Veritas coming close to that Transcendence too. They can stabilize this.
They can stabilize. Sugru coming on through. Pt.2 turning around, taking out the hard carry. Gritex down. Maximus does
hard
back
carry is crazy.
It's a 4v4. And
Terra Surge.
Later, Terra Surge. You want to touch cart? That's fine, but you're gonna. But the Terra Surge
also.
Maximus turning around, getting Eli Vader, and another Beyblade from Zeke. Doesn't make
go. Somebody get Zeke off of the Reaper. No more die for you.
Oh my! We're just gonna have some jabs coming on through, and this.
Can somebody kill somebody?
Through punish through on the Orisa, and Nashville taking a point in the series. They still are alive.
You know, this was a smart pick by the Nashville Harambe squad. Finally getting a map on the board, forcing them out of their comfort zone. But now, if you are San Diego, you're going right back to that comfort zone. It's just going to be all about how do you adapt.
How do you adapt? Sugru, just beautiful Orisa play. You just getting in, popping the gold in order to stay on cart, and it's just lasering them down at the end. 2 horses are gonna meet, but one horse just has the better trigger discipline, the better fire back. And Nashville finally get a foothold in the 2 more best of 1s to win.
Shout out to my boy Kalaho because they called the hose. And now we're going to what? Game 4?
We are going to map 4, push or hybrid. At this point, if you're San Diego, where do you want to go?
I'll be honest with you. If I'm San Diego, I'm putting Saucepan on his favorite map of all time, pun intended, and Coliseo. Hell yeah, I'm going push. But, if I'm actually San Diego, I tag Doge back in. I go maybe Coliseo or Runa Sloppy Toppy. My favorite map, baby. We're here.
All right, so push on the table. We are going to Runa Sapi. This map, sure, it's very of our push maps. This is probably the one with the longest sightlines, and honestly, I don't want to cast or curse it, but either a little bit of hubris or a potential mistake, because I want to give a huge shout out to Gritex from Nashville on that Zenyatta. The amount of opening picks from opening orb volleys, Discord orbs, everything else, that gave Nashville a foothold in that series and really let them. And what does Zen like? Zen likes long sightlines. Zen wants to have the time in order to set up, in order to really control where you get to move and how you get to do it. Runasapi,
honestly,
of our push maps, is the longest sightline one.
I would ban the Zen this map. But like you said, it's not really needed either. If you're San Diego, who do you ban?
Honestly, I'm with you. I would take away the Zenyatta. Honestly, that gave you a lot of trouble. And if you are playing Runasapi, not only are you taking away that Zenyatta, taking away the Discord orb, you're taking away essentially a third DPS for free in the support, air quotes, category.
Support.
You know, that means you know what I mean.
Real balanced characters, you know. Especially you love those damage per second characters named Freya, where they two-shot you in 1 second.
Yeah,
But
exactly. But you also get to turn around and protect your supports as well. So there is no take away the Lucio, because clearly between Grytex and Piper, neither one of them really want to play the Lucio. And
absolutely.
That's kind of what caught them a lot, off guard. Maps 1 and 2. So sure, no swaps from the side of San Diego's staying in. Doge is staying on the bench. And
we're banning the horse. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No more horse. No, well, we still have a big Samoan man with nipples. We still have everything else, but I'll take the horse.
The Orisa ban coming through, it tells me San Diego want to double down on the fact that they want to probably either dive or brawl a little bit more. Maybe you don't want to deal with the horse. That's fine. But there's still Ramatra that is on the field that you've looked really strong at. There is still the Winstons. There is a whole bunch of other tanks that you can come through, you can play around. And it seems like both of these tanks, both Suguru and Ditto Web, are trying their best to really kind of get into each other's heads.
I like this. This is what tank play is all about. It's all mind games, baby. Once you get into the other tank's head and you start sowing that self-doubt, it's beautiful. I thrive on those tears, baby. I thrive on them. Slurp that up, baby. Woo! All right.
I'll say this back when I was playing a lot more. The running thing that I had was back in Emerald, you can't just counter swap me. No one.
Listen, big dog. I would dog you right now on the tank play, buddy. I would show you why they call me Big Dog Apart, baby. And they banned the Lucio.
Smart ban from Nashville.
That is a smart ban.
You know you don't want to play Lucio. Veritas has been playing Lucio for the past, for the opening 2 maps. Circuit Royale, not the most Lucio friendly map. You want to play Rush? Fine. Then you're gonna play it on our terms.
We're getting the Juno Rush, baby.
Yeah, that means no constant speed.
No horse, no Lucio. That's
But if I'm
criminal.
San Diego, you might have trolled a little bit with your ban.
Just a little.
Maybe.
Just a little, a little bit. Smidge. But regardless of the fact, you say nobody can counter swap you, well, I'm Big Dog. We test that sometime. Return, and I will show you why they call me the GOAT to the APARTE, Mr. Goat Apart XD Rar, baby. I'm a dinosaur. I'll eat you up. But regardless, we're hopping into the game.
I don't need to sit here. I don't need to sit here and have the back in my day moment.
Nah, the back in your day. Back still in my day. I'm still in my day, Grandpa.
It's okay. You can just hit me with an okay boom.
Hit me, baby, one more time, boomer. Oh, jeez.
Don't get us DMCA'd.
No, listen. If it was gonna happen, it would have happened 1 season ago. You'll be alright. But here we go. We got a big, sweaty Samoan man with nipples and an ass pack coming in, looking to do damage.
If you are okay, so Malga. What we saw right before the Champions Clash in Hangzhou was a patch come through and Cardiac Overdrive, when originally it used to give your teammates damage reduction as well. That got taken away, and that immediately killed Malga before going into this major tournament. The Malga pick coming through can basically can light Ditto on fire and just be a free health battery if you want to.
Big slam coming out!
Coming through, Veritas immediately and Saucepan with the follow-up dash on through will trade through. Ditto does
down
get
both supports.
Yeah, there we go.
Subaru! Zoom!
Subaru does fall eventually, but it is, as the chaos is erupting, Ditto still alive, just trying to get on through. But Luna again, back onto the Tracer, getting through, being annoying. Like... Maximus and Piper trying their best to survive, but they do need to back up. There is no tank, and Luna out. We'll turn around. We'll clean up the Cassie, and they're hunting for Piper, and Eli Vader will get it on the back end. Sure, the Mauga comes through, and immediately just gonna get
this is rough.
Naked.
This Mauga is about to get folded like an omelet.
I mean, you're trying. If you're Nashville, it was a great opening. The problem is there's this magical hero called Tracer, and she was just in your backline, and she just survived and held progress. It takes
me back to the good old days, like you like to say, Grandpa, where my goat Astro XD would be hunting in the back line, swiggity swoogying, looking for the bootying, and he would just get the picks that he need. But now this Nashville team setting up on that high ground.
Yeah, Sniper Mauga does manage to light Eli on fire. Discord orb out in order to try and force it through, but eventually just falls back, and forward spawns are turned on. But Crytex, there we go, open it up with a volley onto Eli. Maximus turning around for Zeke, Saucepan cleaning up Veritas, and there we go.
Ditto getting that exit pick.
Ditto getting the exit pick, sure, but at this point, the Zen's done enough. Fight's over. Sure, you get an exit frag, but if you're Crytex, you've done your job. You got your opening pick. You got your one.
You got to realize, though, him stalling that forward spawn allows this team, this San Diego team, to get back sooner and perhaps get around that next corner to contest.
I was gonna say forward spawns got turned off just before Luna could get in and.
Well, you smell. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was like right there. That's
tough.
We'll attribute it to ping. It's a ping diff, okay?
Ping diff. Anyway, the big Samoan has slept again. He's taking more naps than anything else this match. Transcendence out and the Samoan's in. Transcendence in. The blade is in. What are we doing? Why are we popping all these ults?
Ult fight
what are we doing?
Ult fight going on. It's just chaos in the backline. Try to get
the Cass is still pushing.
It's just Maximus left on point, and Luna will clean him up. And
I did not know this was an Emerald game. Honestly, it's a Sapphire game, but you sure?
It's a Mauga fight, but it's only a 5-meter difference. It's only a 5-meter difference between it, so it's still anyone's map at this point. But yeah, at this point, if you're Subaru, you probably want to be getting off. As I say that, Luna turning around, Crytex, big stick from this Tracer, showing why Tracer got banned map 2. They clean it up for a second. Saucepan going down, and sure, it's just
Mauga won.
Just trying his best.
Mauga got smacked up.
Yeah, there we go. Maximus does turn around, trade for Luna, but Zeke getting Piper on the exit, and forward spawns turn back on as San Diego continuing their march forward.
I can't believe Ditto Web gave that Mauga the pimp hand, man. That wasn't right.
The Mauga was perp. That Mauga was perped. Was nated. Didn't have much else going for them. As I say that,
nated slap and the Juno ults, dueling Juno ults. But the Mauga cutting him off, and the Mauga's sleeping, and the Mauga's awake.
But Zeke going down. Veritas the trade back, and Sauce coming
dead.
Sauce cleaning up on the Freya. Ditto half has to just trading back on point. Yeah, and it's just Bionate coming through, but Ditto up turning around, punching Saucepan to death. There we go, slowing Maximus. Zuzu force Maximus trying the best to get away. We'll turn around. We'll clean it up before, and yeah, honestly, I would rather see I'd rather see the Rhine than the Mauga at this point.
At this point, yes, but they're both not really good here. Against the Ram Ranch, too, I don't know. We're going deep, and Piper got, pun intended, piped.
Yeah, Ditto just popping the Annihilation in the back line. It's just right next left, but Eli will turn around and trade back. Sure, you do get Luna, that is the troubles, but it is 120 plus meters, and we are at the final choke. Nashville, you got to do something in order to get them out from on.
Big charge going in. This Ryan fed. This Ryan fed, and he fed bad.
Ryan's in, but gets slowed immediately from Ditto Web, using the E. Perp, trying their best.
Oh boy!
Backing up in order to just give a little bit of space, but Luna turning around, picks off the opening pick from that Tracer. You love to see it. Sure, the Fox gets shot from Matrix, but not much can happen.
The big man is down.
Yeah,
Kiri is dead.
And that should be
that
just
might seal their fate.
Yeah, 140
We're not
meters.
getting game 5, it seems.
Nope, and it'll be San Diego full capping on Runasapi. GG's in the chat. San Diego take the series 3-1.
Runa Sloppy Toppy, the downfall of many. As now San Diego adding another notch to the storied map's history.
Yeah, Ditto Web just coming through, showing, just keeping the pressure up and just getting to run on through. And
he really webbed them up, no web of shadows, and he just went in. He went to town. Nom 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 type beat.
I mean, yeah, GG's all over in the chat, and Nashville, it was looking promising, but San Diego turning around, shutting the door, saying no reverse sweep, no map 5. We're winning. We're winning it in full.
Well, here's the crazy part. 2 out of the 3 games this week, reverse sweeps. I'm tired of getting swept. I am extra clean. I took a shower. I'm all good. Regardless of the fact, that was a very dirty game. But let's end it off here. This has been your GOAT and mine and Zach's. Mr. GOAT Apart XD. This has been Zach, who's not a DPS, hardly a tank. And, it's been a wonderful game tonight. Wonderful game, huge game. Definitely a battle of titans. Do you have any closing words to end us off, Mr. Zach?
Bootleg Ruby match tonight at 10 EST, and that's about it.
If you're into bootlegs, if you're into whiskey, and if you're into some moonshine, tune in at 10 p.m. for the most bootleg of bootleg streams you'll ever see. This has been your GOAT again, Mr. GOAT Apart, XD, Raw, the Dino King himself. This has been Zach, who's hardly a DPS tank or a support. And this has been Jay Sweats, who's dying on the commentator booth. And we are all signing out. Goodbye.